All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are just now joining me for the first time, welcome. Thanks for being here. If you are returning, thank you so much for returning. Hopefully, this is a message that you need to hear, that you will need to hear. Take it as it resonates. If it doesn't, just leave it behind. There's so many beautiful readers out here on the airwaves, on YouTube, on Instagram, and I hope you do find your message, whatever it is that you're looking for. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Taurus. You can apply this to your sun, moon, rising, Venus, or if you've just got interesting transits going on with that are impacting you strongly. Let's get into it. I'm going to start off with astrology cards. How perfect is that? So the North Node is wrapping up in your sign, okay? Mercury is also retrograde in your sign, which is funny because we have Mercury reverse, we have dignified, and then we've got the North Node. So I do think that there's going to be a lot coming up for review for you guys this month. This is going to be a reading for the month of May, by the way. Sorry about that. But I do think that there is a lot that is going to be found in this space. I quite literally feel like there is an interesting doorway that you're going to be walking through, and really recognizing how much something has changed. I quite literally feel like you're moving on or moving forward in a really big way. And I think that you are finding a new direction by knowing who you are, because we've got boat and we also have direction. I think that you are learning to chart your course in a very particular direction, and I think that you are learning to chart that course through knowing who the fuck it is that you are. Okay? That's some big stuff. That is some big, big stuff. Let's get into it. When I'm recording this, it is April 24th, so it's not May yet, but there is going to be a eclipse happening in Scorpio, I believe on May 5th or May 6th. So there's going to be some intensity there, especially with it being in the South Node. There's going to be a lot coming up with that for you guys. You will feel it for sure. So just a heads up on that. And maybe this is part of the doorway that you're walking through. Maybe there's some residual bits and pieces that you're needing to deal with. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. So talk about new directions, talk about new beginnings, or talk about a renewed sense of self, or really being able to tap into the potential of a thing, whether that is a literal thing in your life, whether it's an idea, a thought, really being able to tap into this energy and kind of feeling a bit lighthearted and hopeful, even if it feels like things are like getting all mixed up and crossed up right now. I still feel like there's a lot of hopefulness here. We've got the Seven of Wands, Death, the King of Pentacles, as well as the Page of Swords in reverse. So once again, I do think that you are kind of pulling back, taking stock, rethinking things, or looking at particular pieces of information or whatever it is that you are investing your time and energy into to really understand if it represents you with who you are as an individual or who you have become. Because like I said, I do feel like through this experience, especially through the eclipses, you have discovered an aspect of yourself, or you have discovered a part of yourself. Maybe it's been there all along. Maybe you didn't know how to tap into it, or maybe it's a side of yourself that you've never known at all, and that you didn't really think would ever be a part of you or your life or the way that you express yourself. And I feel like that through this discovery, there's really been a need to protect these ideas, these changes, these opinions, these things that you've done, this like radical kind of transformation that you've been going through. I think that you're really standing firm on it because I think that you've truly found value in it. I think that there's something that it's given you, and it's really important. That's something I want to say here. It's really, really important here. For others of you, this quite literally could also represent potentially having someone kind of coming through the door attempting to communicate or talk to you. Absolutely. maybe wanting to reconnect or engage with you in a very particular way. This could be someone from your past that you were connected to at some point. Absolutely, with the Queen of Pentacles here. For people who identify more with masculine energy, this could be you thinking about doing this with a particular female. For or someone in a more feminine energy. For those of you in a feminine energy, this could be you having a person in a more masculine energy doing this to you or coming towards you in some way. With the Page of Swords in the reverse on the opposite end, Strength in the reverse, Ten of Wands in reverse, and the Page of Wands in the upright. I do think that there's going to be a particular action taken here in the realm of communication. I mean, this also could simply be about you rethinking or looking at how it is that you actively care for yourself, or what it is that you actively do for yourself in order to nurture, nourish, or tend to either your physical environment, your physical body, or quite literally like what you're putting inside of your physical body. So for some of you, this could be looking at your health. This could be changing your diet. This could be changing your look. This could be changing your surroundings. There's just this thing here about really looking at these things through a very particular lens. Now, this feels new, so this feels more like a pulled back experience. This feels like more of a study, not necessarily being in the thick of it. So whatever this is, this could be a new thought or a new idea, something that more recently entered into your thoughts. But I think at the end of the day, doing this could potentially hold, oh yeah, great significance. Holy shit. Hold on here. Okay. In regards to those of you who are experiencing this with someone from your past coming back to reconnect with you, or someone who you've been at odds with wanting to reconnect with you, keep in mind this does not have to be a love relationship. It can be someone who is bound by blood. So it could be a family member. It could be somebody that you perceive as family. It does not have to actually be blood family. But this is someone that you definitely spent time with and definitely we'll say molded into in some way, because you share very similar qualities or characteristics, or you share very similar history or experience with each other. Now, for those of you where this person is backtracking and coming back to communicate, I do feel like this individual may feel as if they made the wrong decision, or maybe you've been hurt by this person's decision or the ways that they acted. This could have been a very controlling energy. It could have been an energy where there was a lot of mental and emotional abuse, potentially physical, but that's not really what I see here. If anything, I see more of it as somebody kind of deteriorating the way that you felt about yourself, or deteriorating the value of self, and really putting you in a place to hurt. For some of you, this is you quite literally looking back on the past and maybe seeing how you could have done that to someone else through living that experience. So there's interesting stuff coming up around memory here. This is definitely taking a trip down memory lane. But there is this desire, this need to take action on this and maybe communicate particular things that weren't known. So this could be opening up a chapter of a book and maybe seeing some stuff that you haven't seen before, or hearing some stuff that you haven't heard before, but a part of you felt it, or you always knew it, or you knew it to be true. Now, something that I want to say here that's very important. Sometimes when this energy is like this, more often than not, it is to come to terms with something or close something out. And that's what I believe this is. I don't think that this is actually the mending of a relationship in a way where two people come back together. I think that this is to find closure on something, and maybe even to receive a particular type of justice. 1 second, please. Because I do think that there is a piece of this that needs to be seen in a very particular way in order to provide you with this inner sense of stability once more. Because there's something about this situation that is still tied to something you're going through right now. And there's a line that's connected there. We've got the Devil in reverse with the Sun. the Tower card, and then the Nine of Wands in reverse. So there is something coming through here to help really break down um, maybe barriers that are a part of you now in this current situation. Maybe you are protecting yourself in a very particular way now in your life, maybe in a particular connection, or maybe finding it hard to get beyond a certain point because the way that the ripple effect of this experience was, or whatever it did, or whatever it resulted in, I think actually impacted you way beyond the lines of this relationship. I think this bled into areas of your life. I think that this really had a deep and profound impact on you. And so now there is this undoing of all of this, and there is this kind of breaking free of this energy and really being able to truly reconnect with a part of your soul that I don't think that you've been in contact with for some time. And honestly, whatever this new thing is, I think that's what this is connected to, this like buoyant, open, fantastic energy. Because really what's showing up here is that you have two options. You can either go back into the energy that caused this harm, or you can go down this new path where there's so much more stability and so much more of a solid foundation being built, even if it is taking some time. I feel like this is very good. I think the decision to leave behind whatever grief or pain has been caused in the past is what you need to do. I think you need to open up your heart towards the future and really trust in the direction that you're going in. This is definitely a situation of moving forward. Do not move backward. There's nothing for you there. I think if you were to move back, you would potentially go through the same situation or same pain that you've already been through. Now, for those of you where this doesn't have to do with a particular relationship, I do feel like there's some surprises on the way this month for you that I think are going to leave you feeling quite fulfilled and quite satisfied. So whether this is engaging in a new line of work, or getting a particular promotion, or having something come through financially for you, or finding that you actually are more financially secure to be able to make particular moves or decisions in your life, I think you're going to be seeing that this month, and I think you're going to be feeling really solid in a very particular way. Now, I do think you're going to spend some time thinking about this. I don't think you're really going to jump to any particular conclusions when it comes to life direction this month, but I do think that you're going to be giving it some serious thought, and I think you're going to be looking at two very particular things, very particular paths and directions. And my hope for you is to choose the new one, but do what feels best for you. Okay. I think it's time to move on. Yep. I think it's time to kind of venture into some unknown territory, because I think if you hold on to anything that is behind you, it's going to cause you a lot more grief than what it's worth. So onward and upward. Thanks for joining me, Taurus, and I hope that this was helpful for you, and I will see you guys next time.